Good morning. It's Saturday. Hello from me. I'm a bright hat. I'm a new dungarees that still have the tag on them because I'm seeing if I like them and if they fit. I'm from this glorious sunspot. Happy Saturday. I think I have some yarn arriving today. I'm not 100%. I've ordered some. I've also got my little breakfast here. But it was important. Hello, by the way. I'm Jessica. This is my knitting channel. Potentially some other things, but at the moment we're chatting knitting. Hi if you're new. Hi if you're old. Welcome. Yeah, I have some yarn arriving today. I am just finishing this big shawl. Sorry if my voice is it's early. It's 8:30. Well, it's not that early. I've been doing the sewn bind off for the pressed flowers shawl, and I realised as I was approaching the end, I was like, I don't really have any other projects that I'm that excited to move on to. So I had a little look in my favorited sweaters and found two spring sweaters that I really want to cast on. I don't have any short sleeve sweaters. I did the ballerina wrap top last year, which I really liked, but I was kind of making it up because I was doing I was changing the gauge and doing it with a different yarn. So the sizing ended up slightly weird, or the proportions, the top was great, but there was just a lot of bunching at the bottom. So I didn't actually end up wearing it that much. So that's a sweater that I might revisit and see if I can alter in some way. Although it might be challenging because it had that I-cord bind off that went all the way around. So I don't really know how, or it was an I-cord edging. So maybe I could just rip that off. Anyway, that's beside the point. Other than that, I don't have any short sleeve sweaters, and I've been enjoying a lot of videos of people with their short sleeve sweaters, particularly Maker B, who is someone who owns a secondhand clothes shop, I think, and they do a lot of little outfit videos, either with a short sleeved sweater over a turtleneck, which I love a turtleneck, or just on their own with high-waist trousers, and I think it looks really cool. So basically I've ordered some yarn. I think it's arriving today. I mean, I'm you know what, I'm believing it's gonna arrive today. I really want to arrive today because honestly I need a day off, and I don't know if this is specific to ADHD experience, but as someone with ADHD, I do struggle to have a day off where I don't have a focus or something to do. I need something to do. And if I don't have something fun and relaxing to do, I will just end up doing non-fun and relaxing things and not actually resting or having a day off. So I'm hoping that's what I'll get to spend today doing, and I'll get to take you along with me. But I thought I'd show you my little mood board and also the sweaters that I'm hoping to make before it arrives. Yeah, I feel there's something else I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it was. So yeah, I'm gonna flip you around and show you my little screen. Look at that sun. Look at that sun. Oh, spring. So this is my Ravelry queue, and these are the two sweaters that I want to make. This is the first one. It has a little bit of colour work. It's very naturey. Very much my vibe. Love, where's the picture that I really liked where you can see the whole back? This one. Just think it's really nice. And then this is the second one. I don't know why it's coming up so dark. It must be because it's so bright behind, but I don't know if you can see. There's lots of cables, or not cables. There's some sort of design. I guess I'm gonna find out what it is on the top there, and that's all in one colour. So that's the spring sorrel. That's the second sweater that I want to make. And this was my little mood board that I came up with, and I did it on Microsoft Word because that's about how technological / creative I was feeling. But I don't know if you see my little mouse. I was playing around with all these sorts of different colours. This one, and this one are a Malabrigo linen cotton blend. And these are two drops ones, which are also a linen cotton blend. I did my ballerina wrap top in a linen cotton blend. Is it linen? It might have been a linen wool blend. Anyway, I really liked the linen content, so I thought I'd give that a go. And I've also gotten a bit of a rut making, let me turn you around. I've also gotten a little bit of a rut of making everything in the same yarn lately. I'm sure you'll know if you're a watcher that it's been the Woolly Knits Hank yarn. And when I was thinking about making a sweater, I was like, oh, I'll just order more of that. But I was like, no, I'm gonna try something else, because I know that I will get bored of it, and I do not, you know, I want to like cut it off while I still have a good relationship with the yarn. Don't want to get to the point with the cascade where I'm like, I don't want to knit any of these things because of cascade, which is where I'm at with this sweater. I don't want to make it because it's cascade and it's a really tight gauge. So I thought I'd shake it up, try a new yarn. So yeah, I picked out some colours, and I was like hoping that I'd really like the drops colours because they're so cheap. It was like £1.20 for like 50 grams. They were like, usually it's more, but they were like on sale on the place where I was looking. But then I saw the Malabrigo ones with the variegation. I was like, no, I was like, I really like that. And you know what? I'm trying to make something that I will wear a lot, that I'll really like. I don't know, I felt like I've tried not to knit in neutrals for like the past year, but these are just really appealing to me. So you know what? I'm just going to follow that. So I'll show you which ones I've picked for which. Let me just flip you again. So there we go. So for this one I needed a kind of main colour and then a like secondary colour, and I ended up picking, I think this one, or potentially this one, either this one or this one, we'll see when it arrives, as my main colour, going quite dark, and then had this as my contrast. And then I also bought 2 skeins of this to use as the main colour for the sorrel sweater. So yes, those are the colours that I've chosen. I've never knit an entire garment with a variegated yarn, except I guess this one is a slightly variegated yarn, my everyday sweater. But other than that, I think I've been like, it's too expensive. This was quite expensive. It was like £18 a skein, which is more than I would usually pay for a yarn, especially more than I would usually pay for one that I have not touched because it was coming in the mail. I don't know what it's going to be like. But then I thought about, would I pay £30 in a shop for like an ethically made short sleeve sweater? And I was like, yeah, I'd pay like 80, 60, or like, I feel like people would charge that amount. And obviously, I mean, yeah, talking about money and knitting is always quite complex. I've had a lot of people recently, I've met a lot of new people recently, and when they find out that I'm a knitter, they're often like, oh, you could sell it, or like, that's so good, like you could sell it. And one, I find it weird that people need to feel like that's the way to like compliment me on it. Is like, wow, you could exploit that for capitalism. I'm like, great. And then also, yeah, I'm just like, I've started actually responding by being like, well, you know, thank you, but there's actually no really good way to price hand knitted objects. It gets quite complex, because I was like, if you paid me even minimum wage per hour that it takes me to make this, it would very quickly become like £200, £300, £400. And yeah, that usually usually stops the conversation. But yeah, I think it's important to acknowledge that. I can't remember why I'm paying more money for this. Yeah, basically I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. It's the end of the month, I've got a bit of extra money, so that's what I did. And I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to trying different fibres and seeing how that goes. As always, I've not completely followed the instructions when it comes to what weight the yarn should be. I think it was tricky because it was a sport weight, and sport weight doesn't particularly exist in the UK. Sometimes you can get like imported sport weight things, but these I think are like a DK, but we'll see. Or anyway, we'll figure it out. So yeah, I'm hoping that they arrive. In the meantime, I'm gonna work on this. I would love to hear your opinions on sewn bind-offs in the comments, because they have been something I've avoided like the plague until this year, just like hard no. But now I started doing them, especially I did like the tubular, like the sewn tubular bind off for this, and I really liked it. I did a tubular bind on for this hat, not quite the same, but I'm in the tubular bind on bind off world. I love the like one needle Kitchener stitch, really love, but doing this sewn bind off for this, which is so big, it's so big. This took me like 2 YouTube videos and a movie, so maybe like 2 hours, and I'm on the other side, and I'm also like, I don't know if I have enough, so I'm a bit annoyed about it, but it also does look really good. So anyway, I've been rambling on for a while now. I have nothing to show for it, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to drink some tea, drink my water, and I will get back to you if the yarn arrives today or if anything else interesting happens. So see you when I see you. Goodbye, internet people. Quesadilla lunch. I finished the bind off on my Palace shawl, literally with this much to spare. Pretty intense yarn chicken at the end. And I'm watching the L-word. My cat is here, sitting where I used to be sitting, and my wool has arrived from Wool Warehouse. So I'm gonna open it and see what's inside. I say let's see what's inside like I don't know what I ordered, but it has arrived. It is my yarn. These are the darker colours that I was showing you on the thing earlier from Malabrigo. Where's the tag? So it's a tourmaline colour, so they're after kind of like gemstones. This one here is Tiger's Eye. I think they do really look like the gemstones. It's this is like the brand, not the brand. This is the line, the yarn line. It is a DK/Sports, actually. It should be perfect for what I want it to be for. It is a silk wool linen blend, and honestly it feels amazing. Like, it's gonna be so good for next to skin wear. I don't often use yarns that are single ply. I've found them quite frustrating in the past, but I'm very excited to try this. It's incredibly lofty, just such a nice colour. This is what I think I'm going to use for the spring sorrel, and then this is what I'm going to use for the other one that I can't remember what it's called, and then with this as the contrasting colour. This is a completely different texture. It's a lot rougher. I think this is just linen cotton. Let's see. Yeah, it's cotton, viscose and linen. So this is a lot firmer texture, but I think as a kind of contrast it will be fine, and it will give a bit more structure to the kind of like top part of the top. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I mean, these are lovely colours. Yeah, honestly, like, they look great with my eyes, but they also just look so good through the camera that I almost don't want to stop filming. But I've been talking about these for 2 minutes now, so I'm gonna finish my lunch and then wind them up and then start. Almost perfect timing. Like, I literally cast that off maybe like 30 minutes ago and then this arrived, so really, really working out today. Morning. It is Sunday, another day, same dungarees, different top, same breakfast. Also very sunny again. I'm here with Graham the cat, just right here. Ooh, always participating in the vlog. I just want to give a little update on what I got done yesterday. Yesterday turned into very much like a bit of a blah day. You know, when you just have all these plans in the morning and you're like, stuff, and I walked into town because I wanted to get look to see if I could get like a lamp stand in charity shop because one of our lamps is broken, and I am a mood lighting queen, so I had to get that under control, but there was nothing that I wanted. And then I also wanted these very particular highlighters from the stationery shop, and I went and I was like, do you have mild liners? And they were like, what? I was like, mild liners? They were like, we just have normal highlighters. And I was like, okay. And then I walked home and I was just extremely fatigued. I don't know if this is just like a I'm just tired thing or a post-COVID thing. So it's been about a month since I had COVID, and I've definitely felt more like exercise tires me out more than it used to. But yeah, could be any number of things anyway. So I was very tired. I spent the rest of the day kind of sitting in bed and watching the L Word, which I feel like I should enjoy as a queer person, but like, I just spend most of the time being very like, don't kiss, don't kiss, don't kiss, because everyone's making really bad choices, and I'm just like, ah! So it puts me on edge slightly. Then I watched a really weird film called The Bubble, which I was like, it had the potential to be like really funny. It was definitely the best pandemic film I've seen so far. Like, it was quite funny, but it was just too long, and it was like the same jokes, because I think it was like a lot of character acting, and the characters were the jokes. And once you'd kind of seen the characters a few times, it was like, okay, I get it. Like, I get the joke. I don't need to see it again. Like, this person behaves that way and it's funny. I get it. It was like 2.5 hours. I thought it was too long. Anyway, that's beside the point. I wanted to talk about my knitting. So the first thing that I did was finish my pressed flowers shawl, which I'm pretty happy with. I really like the pattern. I think I've talked about this before. It's mosaic knitting, really, really fun. I'm definitely a big fan of mosaic knitting and want to do more of it in my knitting life. I did the sewn binder. I'll show you the pretty side. And it's kind of curly. I don't know if that's just because it's quite a loose bind off and so it's curly, or if that's just like the fabric or the yarn that I've chosen or whatever. So I think it would benefit from a blocking because, hello. Oh, we've got a little friend. I don't want you to see her asshole on camera. No one needs that. We don't need that. We don't need that, do we, on a Sunday morning? Anyway, I started one of the tops. It was the Colourwork one. I forgot what it's called. I'll stick it down below. I'm using this, which is a Malabrigo. So Susuro, this one. And it says, this breezy yarn is soft and light. Susuro is 50% silk, 25% merino and 25% linen, wound with a single ply into a DK/sport weight. Linen cannot take on dye like silk and merino does, resulting in an amazing depth of colour that gives the yarn an almost metallic sheen, which makes sense because the yarns are named after precious stones. So this is tourmaline, and I think it does look very stone-like. Oh, there it is in the sunshine, here it is in the shade. And then this is the colour that I'm using for second. It's just a Drops one. I don't know the brand for it. It's like their Drops cotton linen. It's very splitty. I'm doing at the moment a row that has loads of bubbles. So you have to like pick up the thing, and its splittiness is not helping. But it's a good colour and I only have to use it for a few rows. So I'm like, I can cope. Anyway, so I'm about this far into the yoke at the moment. I'm getting it's really very sunny in this spot. And yeah, I did the kind of neck, the little ribbing, and then there's some short rows. I love short row shaping, especially if someone has like a very broad back. I will always put in the short row shaping if it is there, and if it's not there, I'd maybe start adding it at this point in my knitting career, because I just know that I need it. Otherwise it just doesn't look right. It's very high up at the front, or very high up at the back, sorry, which is not a good look. It's not a good look. So this is the kind of back that's about this long, and then this is the front that's about this long, so it's quite a significant difference. Yeah, and then I've just started doing the like pattern section. There's a little kind of cabley bit and some ribbing, a ridge, and then you started doing these little bubbles, which I'm usually on the fence about bubbles, to be honest, but they're the pattern, so I did them. And especially something that I'm like, I want to be able to like wear it under things, like as a little like croppy toppy, whether it would be like flat enough, but actually it's relatively flat and it does really look good, so I'm pleased with it. Especially from a distance, I think this is going to be very, very satisfying. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. And something else that I would very much enjoy, but am not currently enjoying, is my Weetabix. So I'm gonna eat it before it gets cold. Yes, I'm a hot Weetabix person. Don't at me. And I'm gonna close this up because I think all that's gonna happen for the rest of today is I'm gonna go to church. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna do a bit of house reset. Getting ready for the week, maybe do a little bit of work, probably do a bit more progress on this, but I'll catch you up with it when there's more to show. And yeah, that's about it. I think I'm gonna close it up here. So thanks for watching, anyone who's stuck around to the end of this little vlog. I am always torn between whether to do like these sorts of vlog style ones or like a longer sit down podcast one. I think I sometimes find the sit down podcast, like I can't sustain my attention for that long to make it, but I really enjoy watching other people's if I'm like really interested in it. But sometimes I do find it harder to sit and watch like 30 minutes of someone like statically talking about what they're doing rather than something that's like a bit more choppy and a bit more like day in the lifey. So I don't know, let me know if you have any thoughts on that down below. I mean, I'll gonna continue making the content that like feels good, but I'd also just be interested about what, if anyone has any thoughts on that. So that's it. I'm rambling now. I'm gonna close it up and eat my breakfast and knit on my sweater and catch you later. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.